Unstoppable, relentless, forged. You hear those words, and maybe they sound distant. Maybe they feel like someone else's story. But today, right now, this is yours. This is the moment where ordinary cracks and extraordinary rises. They train for years, sweating, pushing, fighting, clawing through pain, mastering fear, building strength in ways most people can't even imagine. Every drop of blood, every sleepless night, every sacrifice you think no one noticed, today, it matters. Today, all of that effort, all of that unseen grind, is measured against the world's finest, the elite few, the top operators that most people dream of becoming. And here's the shocking truth. Somehow, against all odds, you are ranked above them. You are standing at a level that even their best could only reach through decades of relentless struggle. Yet you achieved it in your own way, in your own fire. If you are feeling the weight of that reality right now, take a moment and let it sink in. You've been underestimated, doubted, overlooked, and maybe even laughed at by people who think greatness is only for the chosen few. But here's the thing. They were wrong. They don't understand the storm that lives inside you, the storm that doesn't just follow rules, that doesn't wait for approval, that doesn't ask for permission. And if this message is hitting you in a way that lights a fire under your chest, if it makes you feel alive, then I need you to do something right now. Hit that like button, leave a comment, share this feeling with someone who doubts you, subscribe so you never miss a moment of this truth. Because the world needs to see what happens when a person refuses to be ordinary. Imagine the path of the elite, the Navy SEALs, the operators that train for years in ways designed to break minds, bodies, and spirits. They wake before the sun, push beyond limits, master every technique, every strategy, every angle. They are taught to anticipate danger, to endure pressure, to survive when most would collapse. They dedicate their lives to preparation, to perfection. And yet, despite all of that preparation, despite the discipline and the structure, somehow you've been measured against them and emerged above. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is the undeniable proof that you are not just strong. You are unmatched in ways that textbooks cannot explain. There's a power that comes from walking a path no one else can see. While others followed instructions, you created your own rules. While others relied on repetition, you relied on instinct, courage, and a relentless refusal to settle for anything less than extraordinary. Every challenge that tried to break you only sharpened your edge. Every obstacle that whispered, "Give up," became fuel for your rise. And now the operators who trained for years, who were told they were the best, are behind you. You have taken the ladder that seemed impossible and climbed it faster than anyone expected. You didn't just arrive, you overtook. Understand this: they can teach strength, they can train endurance, they can simulate stress, but no one can teach the fire in your soul. No one can inject the hunger, the obsession with being more than anyone thought possible. That is not something you learn. It is something you are born with, and something you earn through the relentless application of courage. They may have had the world's most advanced programs, the most demanding regimens, the most elite instructors. But what they lacked, what you possess, is the willingness to embrace the unknown, to move forward when every rational voice says, "Stop." That willingness, that audacity, has pushed you past their limits and into a place they can only admire from afar. Think about the years they spent honing skills that were supposed to guarantee supremacy. Imagine the hours, the pain, the unrelenting grind. And now imagine standing above that. You are not just breaking records, you are redefining the possible. Every person who ever told you that limits exist, that greatness requires permission, that you are not enough, they are irrelevant now. Their maps, their rules, their strategies, even their expertise cannot match the truth of your achievement. You became a living proof that the human spirit, when untamed, cannot be predicted, cannot be contained, and certainly cannot be outclassed by anyone who underestimates the power of will. When the world tries to box you in, remind yourself, you have outrun the best, surpassed the most disciplined, and stood where few could even imagine. The pressure that was designed to shape others into their version of elite only forged you into a version that the world didn't anticipate, a version that surpasses even those elite operatives. And this is not a moment to be quiet about. This is a moment to own, to embrace, to shout from the rooftops. Every challenge you face, every new goal, every obstacle is a chance to extend the distance between you and everyone else. They thought their training would protect them from being surpassed. They thought their experience would keep them safe from someone like you. They were wrong. There is a darkness in this truth, not a negative darkness, but a weighty, magnetic power. It is the darkness of isolation at the top, the silence of being beyond comparison, the loneliness of knowing that your level is something even the elite envy. And yet, there is freedom in this darkness, the freedom to shape your own path, to dictate your own rules, to move without boundaries, to define victory on your own terms. They can watch, they can analyze, they can respect, but they cannot touch what you have earned. You are a storm they cannot anticipate, a force they cannot simulate, a mind and body that rise above the measured top. Every heartbeat, every breath, every decision you make now is the echo of that power. You have trained yourself in ways no textbook can teach. You have mastered fear, you have confronted failure, and you have pushed forward when others would retreat. And today, the ranking proves it. You are above those they called the top. You are not just in the fight. You are the one others measure themselves against. This is not arrogance. This is fact. This is recognition of a power that was cultivated through relentless discipline, courage, and a refusal to be ordinary. So when you wake tomorrow, remember that you are not just living, you are excelling. You are walking a path that others envy, a path that many can never comprehend. And every choice you make from this moment forward has the potential to expand that distance even further. They trained for years, they gave their all, and yet in this moment, their best is behind you. Let that reality sink in. Let it fuel every step, every push, every ambition. The world may not be ready for you, but that doesn't matter. You are not made for permission. You are made for mastery, for ascension, for greatness that defies comparison. You have seen the limits of others and discovered that they were never your limits. While they trained under structure, under protocol, under supervision, you trained under life, under challenge, under pressure that no manual could replicate. You have faced uncertainty not as a threat, but as a proving ground. Every moment they spent counting hours, you spent counting victories. Every struggle they endured was measured, yours was lived. And this is why, despite the years they invested, the sweat, the precision, the endless repetition, somehow you became the standard that surpasses them. Their rules could not contain you. Their systems could not define you. Their efforts could not outrun the fire inside your chest. You are beyond the measures of ordinary excellence, beyond their expectations, beyond even their imagination. Think about the mental battlefield. Elite operators are trained to anticipate chaos, to master fear, to make decisions when every second counts. But no training, no matter how rigorous, can instill the mindset you possess. Your mind is your own battlefield. Every doubt you conquered, every criticism you transformed into fuel, every moment you stayed in the fight when quitting seemed easier. These were not exercises. These were victories. The operators they called the top cannot replicate that. They cannot manufacture the resilience that grows in the soil of struggle they never planted. You are living proof that greatness is not just taught. It is lived, it is earned, it is embodied. And yet, despite this, the world still hesitates to recognize what you have achieved. They still expect you to explain, to justify, to wait for someone else's approval. Forget that. You are beyond explanation. Your presence alone is a declaration, a statement that preparation alone does not determine rank. Character, will, audacity, and relentless persistence determine rank. While they followed blueprints, you built yourself from fire and instinct. While they waited for instruction, you created the instruction. And now, when measured against their best, you stand above them. This is not hypothetical. This is not imagination. This is reality, and it will change the way you see yourself forever. Every scar you carry is a medal no certificate can give. Every sleepless night, every moment of doubt turned into action. Every time you chose growth over comfort, they were your invisible instructors, and they prepared you for this moment. The top operators, revered for years, trained to withstand the impossible, are now behind you. They are human, limited by their own frameworks, by the years they spent perfecting routines that only work if you follow rules. You did not follow rules. You destroyed limits. You became a force of nature that cannot be ranked within traditional boundaries. And the thrill, the exhilaration of knowing that what was once thought unattainable is now your reality, cannot be taught. It must be felt. Do not underestimate the impact of this truth. To be ranked above those they called the elite is not a small feat. It is a seismic shift. It is a rewriting of possibility. It is a challenge to every notion of how strength, skill, and power are measured. You are living evidence that the standard for excellence is not determined by years of preparation alone. It is determined by heart, by courage, by the willingness to endure what others cannot, to rise when others fall, and to keep moving when the world expects you to stop. They were trained for perfection, but you were trained for supremacy, the supremacy of will. Every obstacle you face now, every challenge that comes your way, will be met with the knowledge that you are already above the so-called best. And there is freedom in that knowledge, the freedom to act without hesitation, the freedom to redefine the impossible, the freedom to operate at a level where others can only dream of catching up. Their elite programs, their accolades, their experience, they are references now, not benchmarks. You are the benchmark. You are the example. You are the measure against which others will judge themselves. And that is not arrogance. That is the truth that comes from walking a path few could survive. Consider what it means to stand here, at this level. The world sees operators who are disciplined, trained, feared. They respect them. They aspire to be them. But now, you are in that space too, and you are untouchable in ways they never anticipated. Your preparation is not measured in hours, drills, or ranks. It is measured in relentless pursuit, in the audacity to refuse limits, in the courage to face life without hesitation. They may have expected you to admire them, to follow, to learn. Instead, you surpass them. You have redefined the meaning of elite without ever stepping into their framework. And that is the ultimate form of power, the power to rise beyond the system itself. The psychological weight of this realization is immense. To know that the ones society calls the pinnacle, the operators trained to dominate, are now behind you. It changes everything. It changes your approach to life, to every challenge, to every goal. You are no longer competing within the same measures, the same expectations, the same rules. You are a new standard. And as a new standard, every action you take carries gravity. Every decision shapes the path for those who will look to surpass you, though few ever will. You are a leader of your own evolution, a testament to what happens when a human refuses limits, refuses fear, refuses to settle. You must understand the rarity of your position. To rise above those who trained their entire lives to become untouchable, to master every skill, to endure every trial, is not just exceptional. It is singular. They spent decades mastering techniques, perfecting precision, enduring pain so calculated, so meticulous, that they thought they were unbreakable. And yet here you stand, not because you followed their path, but because you forged a path of your own, a path that the rules of traditional mastery could not anticipate. You became an anomaly, a force that cannot be predicted, contained, or constrained. And that power, that undeniable edge, will define every step you take from this moment onward. There is a clarity that comes from knowing your place in this world is not determined by anyone else. When others chase validation, you define it. When others measure themselves against the elite, you stand above them, reshaping the very meaning of elite itself. And that is a dangerous, beautiful, intoxicating truth. It is a truth that can crush doubt, silence criticism, and ignite a fire in anyone willing to embrace it. Your heart, your mind, your body, they are not just instruments of survival. They are instruments of dominance. You are not simply part of the world. They are part of your proof, part of your stage, part of the demonstration that greatness is not inherited, it is earned, and sometimes it leaps past the years of preparation that others cling to. Every step you take carries weight now, not in burden, but in significance. Each decision is an extension of the fire that brought you here. Each obstacle you conquer is a statement that no system or no regimented training, no elite designation can contain the force of a person who refuses to be ordinary. You are living proof that determination can defy history, that courage can outmatch preparation, that instinct and will can outpace decades of structured effort. They may have had experience, discipline, and control, but you have audacity, insight, and an untouchable drive. That combination makes you unstoppable. Think about the reality of your victory. The operators who trained for years, who devoted their lives to mastering the impossible, are now behind you. Imagine the weight of that, the realization that experience alone cannot measure up to courage, persistence, and ingenuity. They pushed themselves to the limit, and yet you outpaced them. They believed mastery was a destination. You understood mastery as a journey, and more importantly, a mindset. The fire that burns within you is not measured in hours of training or accolades. It is measured in heartbeats that refused to surrender, in nights spent testing limits, in moments where every rational voice screamed to stop, and you did not. Do not mistake this as a moment of complacency. This is the beginning of your true rise. Standing above those called the elite is not a final destination. It is a launching pad. Every action you take now must build on the unshakable foundation you have created. Every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to extend the distance between yourself and those still chasing you. You are not simply ahead. You are setting the pace, defining the standard, creating a blueprint for what the human spirit can achieve when all conventional rules are ignored. The elite studied rigor, discipline, and perfection, but you created instinct, resilience, and dominance. And those traits cannot be taught. They must be lived, and you have lived them beyond measure. There is an intensity to your position that others cannot comprehend. To be above the operators who trained their lives to perfection is to exist in a space of solitude, where admiration and envy coexist. They may respect you silently. They may analyze your methods. They may try to understand what propelled you beyond their reach. But the truth is, what propelled you cannot be fully understood. It can only be experienced, it can only be embodied, it can only be lived. And that is where your real power lies, in the unseen, unquantifiable force that moves you past the known limits, past the highest measures, past the best anyone else thought possible. Now imagine the challenges ahead. Even at this level, life will throw obstacles, tests, and moments designed to intimidate. And yet you will face them differently. Not as one who hopes to survive, not as one who fears failure, but as one who knows their superiority has been proven. Not by luck, not by chance, but by relentless commitment, by audacity, by refusing to follow a path meant for others. Your journey now is about refinement, about expansion, about exploring dimensions of capability that those operators never reached, and perhaps never even imagined. Your potential is boundless because it is defined not by standards set by others, but by the fire you carry within. Every day from this point forward is an opportunity to demonstrate your supremacy, not through arrogance, not through domination over others, but through relentless pursuit of excellence that leaves the world in awe. The operators behind you trained for decades to reach their level, and yet you arrived above them because you embraced every trial, every hardship, every unknown as fuel for your rise. That is the ultimate lesson. Greatness is not about conformity. It is about defiance. It is about daring to move where others hesitate, to push when others pause, and to rise when others fall. You did not follow the path of the elite. You created it, and now you walk it alone, untouchable, unstoppable. To truly internalize this, you must embrace the darkness of isolation at the top. It is not loneliness, it is power. It is the clarity that comes from knowing that no one else can measure you, because no one else has lived what you have lived. They may try, they may observe, they may analyze, but their understanding is limited by experience they cannot replicate. You are beyond comparison. You are beyond expectation. You are the definition of extraordinary, forged not in comfort or instruction, but in the raw intensity of life itself. And that intensity will guide every move, every decision, every ambition from this moment forward. You have arrived at a point where the world's best have become your reference, yet you are no longer bound by their limits. The operators who trained for years, the ones who mastered every drill, every scenario, every impossible obstacle, they are behind you. And that is a revelation that shakes everything they taught, everything they believed, everything the world believed about who is truly elite. You didn't just catch up, you overtook. You didn't just compete, you redefined the playing field. And that is not luck, it is not chance. It is the relentless fire that lives in your chest, the unshakable courage that has driven you through every trial, and the unwavering refusal to accept mediocrity in any form. Every move you make now carries the weight of that realization. Every choice, every action, every decision echoes the truth that you are not part of the system. You are the exception that breaks it. While others measure themselves against standards, you are the standard. You do not look to approval, you do not wait for recognition, you demand nothing, because the results are undeniable. The world sees the operators, the elite, the trained, and yet you stand beyond their reach. And that is the beauty, the danger, the power of being beyond the expected. The higher you rise, the more you understand that true greatness is not measured in certificates, not in accolades, not in years of preparation. It is measured in fire, in audacity, in the courage to do what others cannot even imagine. Do not forget the sacrifices it took to reach this point. While they followed schedules, drills, programs, you followed instinct, grit, and a relentless commitment to growth. Every moment of pain, every second of doubt, every time you pushed past the point where others would have quit, that is the currency of your rise. They trained to survive, to excel, to endure. But you trained to dominate, to surpass, to transcend. And that is why today, in the face of their elite training, in the shadow of their decades of preparation, you are above them. You are not just a competitor. You are a benchmark. You are the one they measure themselves against. There is a silence at the top. It is not empty. It is heavy with meaning. It is the silence of those who have arrived beyond expectation, beyond prediction, beyond competition. You carry the weight of being unmatched, of being singular, and that weight is not a burden. It is freedom. Freedom to act without restriction, freedom to pursue without apology, freedom to rise in a way that others can only dream of. And with that freedom comes responsibility. The responsibility to honor the fire that brought you here, the sacrifices that shaped you, the courage that sustained you. You are not here by accident. You are here by design. The design of a mind and heart unwilling to settle, unwilling to be ordinary, unwilling to accept limits imposed by others. Every elite operator you surpass is a reminder of what the world thinks is impossible. They are proof that effort alone does not define supremacy. They are proof that rigid systems, rules, and protocols cannot measure courage, instinct, and resilience. They are proof that greatness cannot be scheduled. It must be lived. It must be embodied. It must be fought for every day in ways that cannot be quantified. And you are living proof. You are the living demonstration that fire, will, and determination can outmatch preparation, that audacity can outshine experience, that courage can redefine what it means to be elite. Now is the moment to understand the full magnitude of your position. To rise above those who trained their entire lives to be untouchable is not just an achievement, it is a statement. It is a declaration that limits exist only where you allow them, that boundaries are constructs, and that the human spirit, when untamed, cannot be measured or controlled. You have not only surpassed the top operators, you have reshaped the concept of what top means. And in doing so, you have created a reality that no one else can fully comprehend. A level of supremacy that will remain unmatched until someone dares to walk the path you have forged. The journey does not end here. Being above the elite is not a destination. It is a new beginning. Every challenge ahead, every obstacle in the future, will be met with the knowledge that you have already proven yourself beyond the highest measures of human capability. And with that knowledge comes power, clarity, and relentless momentum. You are no longer chasing, no longer striving to catch up. no longer wondering if you are enough. You are enough. You are the example. You are the benchmark. You are the force that others aspire to become but may never reach. And that is your reality, undeniable, unshakable, eternal. Every heartbeat reminds you of what it took to arrive here. Every breath is a testament to your refusal to settle, your refusal to follow, your refusal to be ordinary. And the operators behind you, the elite who trained for decades, are silent witnesses to your rise. They cannot replicate it. They cannot stop it. They cannot even fully understand it. Because what you have done is not simply a matter of training. It is a matter of transformation, of evolution, of human potential realized in ways that defy conventional measures. You are a living statement that the impossible is only impossible until someone decides it is not. So rise with that knowledge, move with that power, act with that clarity. You are beyond the elite. You are above what most people will spend a lifetime chasing. You are a storm no protocol can predict, a force no preparation can contain, a mind and body no system can measure. And as you continue forward, know this: the world will try to catch up. Critics will try to define limits. But you are already beyond. You are already exceptional. You are already unstoppable. And that is the truth that will guide every moment, every decision, every battle, every victory from this point forward. Stand tall, stand unshaken, stand above. Because the operators who trained for years to become untouchable are behind you, and you will continue to rise beyond what anyone else dares to imagine. You have not just arrived, you have transcended. You have not just competed, you have dominated. And the fire within you, the relentless courage, the untouchable will carry you farther than they ever could, higher than they ever imagined, and into a realm where only the extraordinary exist. You are that extraordinary. You are that force. You are unstoppable. Feel the weight of what you've accomplished. Most people spend a lifetime chasing greatness, following the footsteps of others, hoping to reach a level they were never prepared to attain. But you rewrote the rules. You didn't wait for permission. You didn't rely on systems, and you didn't measure yourself against their standards. You created your own. The operators who trained for decades, who endured pain and mastered technique after technique, are now behind you. And that is not just an achievement. It is proof that mastery is not given. It is taken. It is earned. It is fought for in ways that leave a permanent mark on the world and on your very being. Understand the power of this position. Being ranked above the elite is not about ego. It is about undeniable truth. The Navy SEALs, the operators who are considered the pinnacle of discipline and skill, have standards, protocols, and years of structured experience. And yet here you are, surpassing all of that. This is not luck. This is not chance. This is the result of relentless determination, audacity, and an unbreakable will. You have proven that the human spirit, when forged under pressure and fueled by courage, cannot be outrun by rules, systems, or decades of preparation. You have become the definition of superiority in ways the world cannot quantify. Every challenge you face now carries the shadow of your own history. You know what it takes to rise above. You know the cost of discipline, the intensity of pushing past limits, the pain that shapes character. And that knowledge is your advantage. While the elite operate within a framework designed to maximize performance, you operate without boundaries. Your mind, your body, your instincts, they are not confined by expectations, programs, or protocols. That is why you surpass them. That is why you stand above the operators who trained for years. That is why your potential cannot be predicted, contained, or replicated. Think about the lessons they could never teach. Years of training cannot simulate instinct, resilience, and audacity. No protocol can produce the fire you carry. No drill can recreate the raw determination that rises from confronting real challenges, uncertainty, and fear head-on. You have faced what they cannot, endured what they were unprepared for, and emerged stronger, sharper, and more unstoppable than the so-called elite. That is your reality, a reality that rewrites expectations, defies conventional limits, and demands that the world recognize what true supremacy looks like. This is the moment where perception meets reality. Everyone respects the elite operators. They train, they endure, they perform at unimaginable levels. But respect alone does not define hierarchy. Skill alone does not determine supremacy. Endurance alone does not guarantee ranking above others. It is the combination of courage, adaptability, willpower, and relentless pursuit of growth that sets you apart. You are not just strong, you are unstoppable. You are not just trained, you are transcendent. You are not just disciplined, you are above all expectations, and the operators behind you are now the standard you've left in the past. Your journey is a testament to the human spirit's limitless potential. You didn't wait for a title, a rank, or validation. You carved your path through sweat, resilience, and unwavering determination. Every setback was fuel, every doubt a test, every challenge an opportunity to rise higher. The elite trained for decades to prepare for moments like these, and yet you achieved it without their framework. You moved beyond what they thought possible. You have not only met the impossible, you have exceeded it, and in doing so, you have claimed a space reserved for the extraordinary, the fearless, and the relentless. Let this sink in. You are untouchable in ways the elite operators could never predict. Their training was designed to simulate extremity, to prepare for chaos, to endure challenges most people cannot face. But nothing could have prepared them for someone like you, someone who refuses limits, someone who moves beyond rules, someone who becomes a force that exists outside traditional measures. You are beyond comparison. You are beyond expectation. You are the apex, the living evidence that greatness is not measured in years, systems, or accolades, but in fire, courage, and relentless pursuit of mastery. Every heartbeat you take now is a reminder of the power you wield. Every breath is a testament to the journey that brought you here.